Yo, what's poppin', Poke Pals? Rare TCG bringing you a brand new video. Today we are showing off my Jellicent EX deck. First of all, I love this card art. This is amazing card art. I love this. I'm just upset that I only have one of these. My other two are just that plain, like, full art looking card. For those of you who don't know what Jellicent EX does, it has the Oceanic ability, which as long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, your opponent can't play item cards or tool cards from their hand. Combining that with the power of Banette EX and its Everlasting Darkness attack, which also item locks your opponent, and with Budew and its Itchy Pollen also item locking, your opponent is essentially locked out of playing any item cards from the game. We also play this Frillish here that has the Oceanic Gloom, which during your turn, if you attack, you can flip a head, and if heads, your opponent is item locked. So essentially what you want to be doing is you want to be item locking your opponent throughout the entirety of the match. If things get a little hairy and you need time to set up, we have Mimikyu EX, which has the Safeguard ability, which prevents any EXs from damaging your Pokemon. I also have 2 copies of Xatu and 2 copies of Natu to help accelerate that Psychic Energy, because every Pokemon in this deck uses Psychic Energy. We also play 4 Crushing Hammers for a little disruption, as well as some Mist Energy, which will prevent our bench from being attacked by Pokemon like Dragapult. So that's essentially the whole deck. Everything else is pretty much there. I'm not quite sure which ace spec I like. Precious Trolley seems to be working best for me, and that's pretty much it. These battles can get a little long because, well, you're item locking, your opponent can't really do much, but I've had some success with this deck, and I want to try it out on the ladder. Let's see how it goes. Alright, so we are in game 1 right now. We did win the coin flip, and we have the Budew up front. My opponent is going to mulligan. It looks like they are playing Dragapult, so my Mist Energy will come in handy for this matchup. Now, like I said in the preview of the deck, most people, from what I've seen, are using Banette EX as the main attacker, but in all honesty, I think Jellicent is the better attacker. Yeah, he's not as strong because Banette's second attack, Poltergeist, does 60 damage for each trainer card in your opponent's hand, which is a great endgame attack, but I think the slow burn of Jellicent just constantly disrupting your opponent, I think that's a little more targeted, we'll say, for a lack of better terms right now. We also got the Jellicent in our hand right now, and I'm actually going to attach the Mist Energy to it. So, with this starting hand, I'm just going to use this Buddy-Buddy Poffin to get myself 1 Natu and 1 Shuppet, since I have both their evolutions in my hand, and I'm going to end my turn, unfortunately. A little disappointing. I also see that my opponent has Charmander in the active, so this is a Dragapult and Charizard deck. Very interesting. This is going to be absolutely amazing with the fact that we are going to be item locking them, and they cannot use rare candies because Charizard and Dragapult are very heavy on the rare candies. They are going to crisp in here, which unfortunately is going to knock out my Budew, which is what they're going to be aiming to do right now, so that's a bit of a bummer. But I also play 1 copy of Devolution, so just in case they somehow manage to get that rare candy off, we could just totally disrupt them. But as I was saying in the beginning of this match, most people from what I've seen on Limitless have been using Banette as the main attacker, but I think this deck works a lot better as a slow burn with Frillish and Jellicent as the main attackers. Sure, they don't do as much damage, they only do 80 damage, but I mean, if you can get 2 extra energy onto them, they do more damage, but that can be somewhat cumbersome at times. So I think just doing the base 80 damage is wonderful. I also added the Xatu to this deck because, as you'll see in a second, when you attach an energy to one of your Pokemon on the bench, you get to draw 2 energy, so that's phenomenal. I think I'm just gonna research this away. Wasn't the best choice, but it is what it is. I'm going to attach this to the Banette, so it has free retreat, and let's start flipping some heads with this Crushing Hammer. Of course we flip tails. Wow, make me a liar, why don't you? Let's try that again. And another tails. Wow, Crushing Hammer is just very inconsistent. In the game that I played while testing out this deck, I did manage to get 3 Crushing Hammers off of my opponent. I felt so bad for them while testing this deck out, and I wish I got it on video. I do a lot of testing with these decks before I showcase them, which is why I'm a little upset when they don't work to the full capacity that I want them to, especially when the cameras start rolling. But like I said in a previous video, I can't control what happens in a match, and whatever happens, happens, you know. I'm not going to sit here and play 50 games and then pretend for my audience that, oh my god, my deck is amazing, because it's not, you know. I just go on here, I have a little fun, I do what I got to do, and I get out, you know. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. Sorry that I didn't get to post this weekend. I had a pretty hectic weekend. I was supposed to post yesterday, but then I got wrapped up with dinner plans yesterday, and I did not get a chance to post. Oh, we got another Frillish. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just use this just to get 2 enter. Oh, they just conceded. Wow. They could not deal with the item lock, and that's pretty much what this deck wants to do. On to the next match. Alright, here we are in game number 2, and we are going second this matchup because we did lose the coin flip, but I am extremely happy with this hand right now. We have Frillish in the active with an energy, and Frillish only needs 1 psychic energy to attach and item lock, and it does 10 extra damage opposed to Budew. And it looks like we're going against yet another Dragapult. This is what happens when you're in RCS rank, you just verse nothing but Charizards and Dragapults and the whole 9 yards, so this should be, well, I don't want to say interesting, because it's not really going to be interesting, you know what I mean? It's pretty much what you've just seen. So unfortunately, I can't attach the Mist Energy this turn, but I can still item lock them and get the ball rolling. So they have to evolve into their Dracoloak straight from their hand, which is what they're going to do. Thankfully, they did not evolve the Dreepy in the active, otherwise I would have just taken out with Jellicent on my next turn. The thing about Jellicent is because it has 1 colorless for its attack, you can just attach the Mist Energy as the second energy, and it still works, which is great. Oh, they are going to Iono me. Dang, that's unfortunate. Hopefully we can get something here, like an Ultra Ball or something. We get none of those. Okay, well, oh, wait, we got Hilda. This is why we play Hilda. Hilda allows me to search my deck for 1 evolution Pokemon, which we use a lot of, and an energy. So we are going to definitely get ourselves the Mist Energy and the Jellicent and get this ball rolling yet again. I would also at some point like to get Xatu going. Alright, they're going to item lock me, funny enough. But you know what? This deck does not suffer from item lock unlike other decks in the format. And look at that, we also get Professor's Research. I'm not going to use it right now, obviously, because we have to use this Hilda to get things rolling. So we are going to get the Jellicent, and we are going to get the Mist Energy. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think Mist Energy does not protect us from item locking. Never mind. Don't listen to what I'm saying. I'm a fool. So we are just going to take this Budew out, and they are automatically item locked because of Jellicent EX's ability. So unless they can get Jellicent out of the active by wasting one of their bosses, we are big chillin' right now. Like I was saying in the previous matchup before I was rudely interrupted by my opponent's concession, this deck is not the best deck. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. It fails, but you know what? When it gets rolling and people get frustrated because they can't do anything, it's so much fun. It's so funny to just watch people concede and watch them just give up because they keep drawing into dead hands. The only thing that this deck suffers with because of Jellicent EX's ability is boss's orders. Like I mentioned, they could just boss up one of my Pokemon on the bench, and that will completely free them up for attacking with anything there. They are going to Curse Blast us, I'm going to assume, on the Frillish. No, they're going to attack the Jellicent. Interesting. That's a very interesting play. I mean, it does put us into... Oh, we get the TM Devo, but it doesn't help because they are not using any... They're not using any rare candies at the moment. I do play 1 copy of Tulip, which allows me to get 4 Psychic Pokemon or Psychic Energy out of my discard and put them into my hand, which is a great little... let me get the Mimikyu here. I think that's the best play. And I'm just going to research this hand away. It's kind of dead. And we get yet another Jellicent. Let's put that down. We get the Xatu going. Nice. So I'm going to put the Xatu. The Xatu I've used for not only accelerating energy, but also to help get me out of dead hands, because Xatu does a great job at that. And I'm going to Crushing Hammer. I wanted to... Oh, we got heads this time, so we are going to get rid of the energy from the Dracloak. Excellent. I wanted to originally put a special Crushing Hammer, which gets rid of special energies, but unfortunately I could not fit it into the deck, so I might have to go back in and see if I can fit it. Like I said, the A-spec of this deck I've been contemplating for a while. I originally had the Aroma to help me get my stage 2s out, but then the Hilda seemed kind of pointless. I had the Precious Trolley right now, which only works at the beginning of the game, and it's kind of hard to find, so that's not really great. I had the Unfair Stamp at one point, but... oh, there's another concession. Alright, I'll continue my conversation in the next match. I'll see you then. Okay, and here we are in match number 3. Both my opponent and I had a mulligan, and it looks like they are playing the Ancient Box deck. I haven't seen that in a while. But as I was saying before, my opponent conceded in the last matchup. Oh no, it looks like they're going to donk me. Alright, well, while they do all that, the Unfair Stamp was kind of pointless in this deck because it completely nullifies the second attack that Banette has, which is the Poltergeist attack, which allows me to do 60 damage for every trainer card in their hand. And if I'm just using the Unfair Stamp to get rid of their hand, then it kind of defeats the purpose, you know what I mean? So if they can find themselves a Ancient Booster Capsule, I think that's what it's called, we just lose here straight up. So that's a little bit of a bummer, but you know what? They are going to Squawk and Seize, they probably have it. No way they don't, because that's just how this game works. There it is, yep, okay, we're going. Okay, well, the first matchup that we lost, and it wasn't even because of anything that this deck did, it's because, we just did not have a Pokemon on the bench, unfortunately. But, yeah, okay, that's a bit of a bummer. On to the next match, I guess! Okay, here we are in match 4. I don't know if that first okay went through. I clicked the record button and I didn't see the timer going, so I think I said okay twice. Anyway, like I was saying before, I got completely donked in that last matchup. These games are going pretty quick, I have to say. I found this deck, or this archetype rather, on Limitless, and it was like, they went to a tournament and they only won, I think, like 2 matches, and I was like, how could that be? If you're, you know, consistently item locking people, and with how prominent item locking is nowadays, people should be winning left and right with this deck. And that's when I found out that they were using Banette as the main attacker. And I said, oh, that makes sense. Oh, beautiful, we got the energy we needed. So, I'm just gonna get, Natu and Shuppet, and I'm just gonna... oh, if I could use the Crushing Hammer right now and get heads, that'd be phenomenal. Of course. It is what it is. Alright. But, as I was saying, the person who made this deck, they were using, like, Crustle as, like, a blocker, which, don't get me wrong, Crustle's great, but why would you not use Mimikyu? Mimikyu uses the same energy as Crustle. I mean, yeah, it doesn't do as much damage as Crustle, but Mimikyu's a basic. So you could just put that down and you're protected from EXs, as opposed to having to put the Dwebble down, which becomes a liability, then you have to evolve up into it. They had to use Grass Energies for the Crustle, which then they had to use Crispin. It was just like, they were just clogging up their deck with all this nonsense. And I was like, I could totally make a better item lock deck. And so I did. So I started playing around with it. I put Budew in the deck, because they didn't have Budew in the deck for some reason. Like, why would you not have the most prominent item locker in the format right now in your deck? And I made Jellicent the main attacker, because they only had 2 Jellicents in the deck. I bumped that up to 3, and I bumped the Banette down from 3 to 2. So that was that. And then I also added Xatu for a little more consistency, a little more... what's the word I'm looking for? Not just consistency, but also a little more of a draw engine. I would have loved to have bossed up that Pidgeotto, but because I can't do much right now, I'm just going to Mist Energy this. I'm going to put the Natu down, and I'm going to get yet another Frillish set up so I can get things going. Alright, this Sneasel is going to get knocked out, but because of the, what's the name of this thing called? I think it's going to say it. No, it's not going to say it. This thing here, the Amulet of Hope. I've never seen anybody use this A-spec before. That's interesting. I did consider using Amulet... what happened to the Sneasel? Heck, it just disappeared. PTCGL's bugging. I did consider using the Amulet of Hope as the A-spec. Whoa, okay. You guys saw that, right? I'm not bugging. That got picked up by OBS. I did consider using the Amulet of Hope, but I didn't really see it as being a very consistent way of getting cards, for the sake that, well, obviously, like, you know, I don't really get Pokemon taken out as often as you think. Like, you saw in the last couple games, how often did my opponent take a prize card? Not that often. I don't know what they're trying to do here. Oh, they're just going to go straight for the Golbat. Okay, they are going to evolve the Golbat. They're probably going to sneaky bite the... No, they're going for the Jellicent. Okay, I personally would have went for the Budew or the Natu, considering how low energy they have, but, you know, to each their own. This does... Oh, I'm confused now. Well, I don't like that. That's no bueno. Oh, wait, I have Mist Energy. I can't be confused. That's why I play Mist Energy. Duh. Oh, my god. Yeah, so the whole point of this deck is literally just to force your opponent to rage bait, essentially. I'm a terrible person for playing this deck, but you know what? I honestly could care less at this point, because I'm trying to win. I'm going to attach that to the Banette. Oh, there we go. We're going to attach that to the Frillish. And now they're almost completely set up. I would use my Crushing Hammer, but I do 80 damage, so I'm not going to waste it on a Pokemon that I could just knock out and take the energy off of to begin with. And that takes care of Golbat. Yeah, pretty much this deck is doing exactly what I wanted to do today, for once. It's doing a phenomenal job. Like I said in a previous match, I do a lot of testing with this deck. I don't just, you know, put together some cards and go, okay, that's the game, now let's go see if it works online. No, I do a lot of testing with this to make sure that it works. Now, ideally what I want to do here is if they knock out my Jellicent, which I'm going to assume they are, because that's going to do 30 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. Doesn't... Oh no, they can't knock out my Pokemon. They're only going to do 30 damage. They'll take out Budew, but it looks like we're pretty much safe. And the Xatu, you only really need one on the bench because the attack cost is pretty low in this deck. So having two is just like overkill at this point, but let's see. No, they're not going to take anything out but the Budew. Okay, that's not bad. We'll take that. I'm a little disappointed I lost my Devo because I could have hit this Ekans and then devolved it on the next turn, but it is what it is. I can't boss with the Pidgeot because he has free retreat, so I'm just going to Jellicent and Mist and get this guy set up. Right, I can't evolve with Arbok on the bench. Right. Ooh, okay, interesting. See, when you don't see cards that often, you forget what they do. Alright, so we are going to be losing Natu here because they are going to attack me. I could take out the Arbok next turn, though, with another hit, or if I find my Devo. But that seems a little... Oh, they are going to Iono me. Okay, interesting. So, a little counterintuitive to use my Devo at this point. The only time I would want to use my Devo is once I've hit this Pidgeot, I want to devolve it into the Pidgeotto, because I think Pidgeotto has 80 HP. Yes, sir! And that's how much damage we do. So, yeah, that's beautiful. Even with a deck like this that uses Dark Pokemon, which we are weak to, we're still thriving because my opponent is struggling to get Pokemon evolved, struggling to get their attacks off because they can't use item cards, they can't use tools. I also had Jamming Tower in this deck at one point to try to turn off tools, but then the problem with that became I turned off my own Air Balloon, and I also turned off my Devo, so that became problematic, and hence why I had to get rid of it from the deck. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. We got a Night Stretcher. Do I have anything in the discard that I want? No, I don't really want anything from the discard. I'm going to get this to get a Crushing Hammer to try and get rid of that energy on the Sneasel. And I'm going to get a... You know, let's get the Devo. Get the Devo. We'll put the Air Balloon on Banette. Because originally what I was doing was I was using Poltergeist for the big hits when my opponent got their hand up. Then if I survived, I'd retreat back into Jellicent to item lock them again, and then just continue. Like I said, this deck is a slow burn if you play it the way I intended it to play. There we go, we got heads. That was another thing. The original deck that I based this off of did not have Crushing Hammers. So I thought that was a little ridiculous too. Why would you not put even more disruption in this deck? And just like that, my opponent is in a between a rock and a hard place once again. They have no energy in play. They have nothing that they can really do. I gotta see if I can find my... Actually, no, they're gonna Iono me. I was gonna say we had the Night Stretcher. If they knocked out the Jellicent, I could have just Night Stretchered the Jellicent, but that's not gonna happen now. Okay, we get a Mist Energy, which we can attach to the Banette, which is good. They are gonna Quick Search. They're probably gonna get their Team Rocket's energy and take out the Jellicent. Or they're just going to search their deck for an energy and pop it onto the Sneasel. I'm not quite sure what my opponent's intent is with this deck. I understand that they're playing Arbok and Sneasel, so they're trying to prevent me from evolving, but at the same time, it's like they're not really doing that great of a job at doing so, because I'm getting everything I pretty much want at this point. Now, because I have the Air Balloon, I can promote the Banette and free retreat it if I really want to. So that's pretty much what I want to try and do here. I got Nest Ball. I'm just going to attach the Mist Energy here. And then I'm going to attach the energy to the Frillish. I get a Shuppet. It's kind of dangerous to put him on the bench, but you know what? I do have Banette in my hand. So if worse comes to worse, I will just pop the Banette down. Let me look through my deck. Let's get another Frillish down just to be safe. I'm probably overbenching here, but who cares? I unfortunately can't item lock them, but I do want to take the Sneasel out, so hopefully they have like at least 2 trainer cards. Yeah, they do. Goodbye. Okay. And that's why you use Banette's Poltergeist. So they are not item locked this turn, but I didn't see really anything in their hand except for Professor's Research that could really mess me up. The only way they can attack me is with the reversal. Okay, they just have the Arbok like that. Did they have the Arbok? I wasn't really paying attention. I was too busy looking for the trainer cards. The only way they could attack me is with the reversal energy, which they could very easily get because they have Professor's Research in their hand, is what I saw when I used my Poltergeist. They are going to Quick Search. They're probably going to get a, what do you call it? This one, the reversal energy for their Arbok, because that's the only way that they can attack. Assuming that they have another reversal in their deck, it's not prized, or they didn't play enough. They're going to Night Stretcher. Interesting. Why they wasted their Quick Search on a Night Stretcher is beyond me, but okay. They are going to Giovanni's Scheme. Who are they going to bring up is the question. They're going to bring up Frillish. Okay, good play, good play. They're going to take out the Frillish. Okay, unfortunate. Now, what I would like to do, because they didn't get the reversal energy, that leads me to believe that they don't have a ways of powering up this Arbok, so I would like to boss up this Arbok and then put them back into item lock, but that might be a little too ambiguous on my end. So I think I'm just going to... Why can't I Iono? What the heck? I didn't play a... No, I didn't play a supporter, so why can't I Iono? Oh, there it goes. You guys saw that, right? It wasn't lighting up. Alright, let's put them down to 1 card. We do get Jellicent. That's nice. Oh, that protects my friend there. Unfortunately, no matter what we do, we are not taking out this Sneasel, so I'm just going to item lock them. Bit of a disappointment. So, my goal right now is I want to try and get an energy in my hand. Either... How many energies do we have? We have 3, 4... I think I play 6... Psychic energy, if I remember correctly. So I would like to get the energy back in my hand, and then they're probably going to take out the nut. Yeah, wow. So let me get this straight. We beat Dragapult Charizard, we lost to a Donk deck, and we beat another Dragapult Charizard, but then we lose to the most random, I don't even know what that deck was. Yeah, I don't even know what that was. And somehow we lost to it. I kind of want to run another match. You know what? Let's do another match. Alright, here we are in the last match of today's video, whether we win or lose. I wasn't too happy with how that last match turned out, hence why we are in another match. My opponent won the coin flip, but they have decided to let us go first generously. I'm not too happy with that because I don't have a good lead right now. Frillish is only good in the active if you're going second, but, oh, it looks like we are playing a Terra box here. Let me get my 2 Natus on the bench. That seems like a fair decision. I'm going to get yet another Frillish out. I'm also going to get a Shuppet out, and a Budew. And then I'm just going to end my turn there. Unfortunate that we didn't get literally any energy in our hand. And we have no supporters to help us. Ooh. They are going to Terra Orb here. They're going to get... Oh, I didn't even get to see what that was. It looked like Glaceon. Oh, no, it was Lapras. All I saw was the water. Okay, Terra Lapras. Wow. I have not seen Terra Lapras since it was first released. Holy cannoli. You guys did see I'm in Arceus rank, so, I mean, like, okay. The fun thing about Arceus rank is even though you do only run into, like, sweaty tryhards like the Dragapult and the Charizard players, you also run into people like myself who are like very experimental. You try to use decks that are new and weird and different because you know what, we have nothing left to lose at this point, you know what I mean? Let me try and get rid of that energy off of that Lapras just because. I know this deck is going to play like 50 energy in it, so it doesn't even matter if I get rid of 1 energy. But you know what? Why not? And attack this 40 for each energy attached to this. And you know what? Boss it up too. Why not, right? Boss it up. What's this Lapras going to do to me? You're going to attach 1 energy and do 40 damage to me? Come on. They're going to knock Dowel. That's going to get them anything that they want. And without a switch, they are going to have to use 2 energies to retreat Lapras. I haven't versed the Lapras in so long, I don't even know how they function anymore. He is going to get this crystal, and he's going to get the... You can use this one. Look at the top 20 cards of your deck, attach any number of energies you find to your Pokemon any way that you like. That's all fine and dandy, but he has to waste the turn on the Lapras then. He can't just, you know, power up something on the bench. What's he going to do, power up the Fan Rotom? Okay. Okay, so right now they're doing 80 damage to me with the Sparkling Crystal if they decide to use Larimar Rain. Nope, just 80 damage. Okay, so they are going to target the Jellicent. We are bricking really hard right now. And we got Arven, that's good. So let's get one of these, and let's get... Well, Devo doesn't really help me in this situation, so let's just get Air Balloon. Let's get rid of this Artazon. Just dig a little. Let's get rid of that on here. Let's put that on you, and now we can start swinging for 80 damage every turn. Now, they can't... Oh, right, they can't even attach the Sparkling Crystal. I just realized that because it's a tool. So yeah, they can't even use their Luminaire Rain or whatever it's called. I think they had the energy, though. They must have... Yeah, they gotten it. So they're probably going to use it to power up that Lapras on the bench. Let's see what they decide to do here. I'm actually intrigued by this matchup. Like I said, it's been a while since I versed the Lapras, so... I'm sure... Oh, they're going to boss me. Yep. Okay, that's my biggest enemy. The old boss. If they were smart, they would boss up the Jellicent, but they're not. Because I could just set up another... Not Jellicent. They would have bossed up the Frillish because I could set up another Jellicent. Oh, they're going to power up Hydreigon. I see, I see. Or not. They're just going to attach that to that Lapras for some reason. Why would you not attach it to the Terra Hydreigon? I don't know. People do very mysterious things. So, what's been going on with me lately? A little personal information. I finally started watching the 3rd season of Squid Games. I know it's been out for a while, but I was like, I don't know, I was too busy to watch it, and I'm on like the last 2 episodes. I've been binge watching it all day. Some stuff around my new apartment's going on. Some stuff keeps falling down, because I don't know how to build things apparently. The bookshelf fell apart today, so I gotta fix that. Gotta make dinner when the missus comes home from work. I have to do some paperwork for my job and for my license, because I did move, so I have to change my address on my license and all that fun stuff. Yeah, adulting. Alright, that's pretty much a look into my life. Nothing really special's going on, just adult stuff. Alright, I'm kind of intrigued as to what they're going to do here. They can't use a rare candy to evolve this Dino. They are probably going to retreat, though, and just swing with this Lapras. That would make, or just hit for that. Okay, that works too. I wish I can get a boss's order right now and just take out that Dino. Nope. Unfortunate. Alright, we are going to take out the Lapras, though. So these 2 prize cards hopefully will get us into a better position. That's 3 energy right there. Let's see. We got a Crushing Hammer. I like that. And we got ourselves an energy for next turn. So we can start item locking with Banette. So that's good. But I would like that boss's orders just to get rid of the Dino. Because I'm smelling that rare candy coming out soon. Alright, that's gonna be the end of Jellicent. They even out the prize trade. Do I want to go up with Banette or do I want to go with Budew? I kind of want to go with Budew just to save the Banette for later. Because they're kind of they're starting to swing pretty hard right now. We got the Xatu. I like that. And guess what, guys? Because this gets me 2 energy, with 1 Xatu, I can just do this. Attach this here. Attach this here. Oh, you know what? I wish I could peek at their hand. I was going to say, we could peek at their hand using Poltergeist. Hopefully it's enough to take out Lapras. And then they'll rare candy into the Hydreigon, which I could then Devo with the De-Evolution. Do I really want to do that, though? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to Crushing Hammer, just in case this goes sour. Doesn't matter anyway, we got Tails. Okay, so let's take a look at their hand. No, PTCGL, I want to bring... Oh my god. Let's take a look at their hand with Poltergeist. Hopefully, we do a lot of damage. Let's see. Oh, it's only going to do... Okay, he doesn't have a rare candy, though, so that's good. Do 120, but they are no longer item locked. But it didn't look like they had anything in their hand that could really be... Oh, never mind, they just got an Arven. So now they have a rare candy. Yep, that's the end of that. So they are going to rare candy. And this just became very dangerous, because now they're going to do 130, 130, 130. Yeah. Actually, they just won. Alright, well, that was a little bit of a bummer. But, like I said, this deck is not really made to, like, win you big tournaments. It's just made to really frustrate. I think the first 3 games really showcased that, but this is really starting to see how badly it falls apart. But, yeah, that was pretty much it. I hope you guys still enjoyed watching this video, though. Even though we got completely obliterated by a rando Lapras and a Hydreigon EX. That's a little disappointing. Wow, 4 prize cards in 1 turn is diabolical. It's like a Victini's on my side, yeah, I'll say. Speaking of Victini, I do actually have a Victini deck I'm looking to showcase, but it still needs some tweaking. So, I'll get back to you on that one. Victini's pretty tough, I'm not going to lie. I also didn't want to do another single prize deck because I've been doing a lot of single prize decks, and, you know, I don't want to keep showcasing the Brave Bengal, even though it's my favorite card out right now. But, yeah, that was my Jellicent deck. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun filming this. We had a lot of games we played. We won a couple with some rage quitting, and we lost a couple because my opponent just had a better hand than I did. But c'est la vie, as they say in France. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, give me, don't forget to subscribe, and give me some pointers in the comment section. How can we make this deck better? Maybe the unfair stamp is the A-spec of play to go with this deck, but, you know, setting up the Precious Trolley in the early game has shown to be pretty crucial. So, I don't know. It could be good, it could be bad. I don't know. But that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any suggestions. Leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace!